Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of On the Move with the Caravan Sports Preview Show with Jim Powers. I'm Chris Miller. That's Jim Powers, and this episode, as all of our episodes, are brought to you by Wiley Agencies for multiple policies under one roof for your car, home, motorcycle, whatever. You can call Sean Wiley today at his Festus office at 636-764-6294, his Hillsborough office at 636-333-9903. Jim, we've had an exciting and just awesome fall sports season. A couple of them are wrapping up. We still got football going on, but I'm telling you right now, it doesn't get any better than this.
No, this is the best time of the year. I mean, we say that at the end of basketball season. We say that at the end of the spring sports. But, yeah, district finals this week. Volleyball, what a terrific weekend down at Cape for the volleyball kids. This is what the kids play for. This is what they work all summer for. And, this is what it comes down to. And what kind of weekend are we going to have? I mean, you're just talking heavyweight knockout battles all over the state of Missouri in football. We're going to talk about some of them here, but my gosh, it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, there's some games that I won't even touch. Somebody already asked me, who do you got CBC? How? No idea. Not even going down that road. Not even, Desmet Slough. Who do you got? I have no idea. So, but that's the way it should be. And that's the fun of it. And once again, the kids have worked so incredibly hard to get to this point. So we've got some great district championships, and the brackets will come in the big time play starting next week.
Yeah, it's just one of those great times. And then you think about even tomorrow when we have the basketball district assignments coming out, and I know I'm personally looking forward to that. It's going to be a busy day for Misha.
Oh, well, 7 a.m. Here come the basketball districts, and let's see if the website decides to crash like it did when the fall sports districts came out.
Yeah, they hope they got those servers really backed up and ready to go, and just, man, I'll tell you it. But all things aside, the fall sports we've had such a great year, and it's these football matchups are just pretty awesome, Jim. They really are.
Without a doubt. So, let's quit teasing it. Let's talk about it.
That's fair. My bad. All right, we're moving right into our first one, and I won't ask you who you're taking on even this one, but we're looking at Class 6 District 1, and this is kind of where we saw this matchup heading when the brackets first came out, and I'm telling you right now, Jim, it's going to be a fantastic game in Imperial.
Without a doubt, and Segment gets to host it. This is going to be the big test for the Jaguars.
Yeah.
We know they're good. We know that they're probably a better, well-rounded team than what they were last year with Cole. This Jackson team just continues to do what they do. The tradition lives on. New head coach, 9 wins, knocking it out of the park. The big edge is going to be you don't have to go to the pit. You get to play it in Imperial. But I still got to give a slight edge to Jackson. And here's the reason why. Been there, done that. This is the deepest Sequin's ever been. Jackson, got to remember, they made a run 3 years ago to the state championship. During COVID, they played Platte County down at Elias and lost. This Jackson team and some of these kids have been down this road. They've been into the deep run. That's where I give them just ever a slight edge. But do I think this game is going to go into the fourth quarter with decisions to be made? Absolutely. This game is going to be one of those knockdown dragouts. 2 good offenses, 2 really good defenses. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what's going to come out of this. But once again, slight, and I'm talking paper thin, slight edge goes to Jackson.
I'm not going to bet against Seckman. They have done a fantastic job this year. Again, even with the loss of Cole, they are so good, and they obviously winning the way they have. They have a proven record. Obviously, with haven't lost a game. They are legit. I agree with you. Jackson's been there, done that. This is a 50-50. I don't even want to lean one way or the other. I think
Yeah,
this game could go either way, and it could be who has the ball at the end and who makes the big stop at the end. So it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, if this is one of those things where you can't get to the game, go ahead and pay the money and watch it. It's going to be worth your time watching on Misha TV.
with there's no doubt about it. Once again, yeah, I mean it's 50-50, but once again, like I said, paper thin edge, just because Jackson's been there and done it.
Yeah,
Only reason.
that experience really matters. I mean, it really does. But at the end of the day, I mean, the game is played out there, and they have to, kids have to show up and play.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun one to watch for sure. It's one to keep an eye on moving forward. And then we go to our next match, our next district.
Oh
I'm telling you
boy.
right now, this is one you don't want to touch.
No.
You want to talk about the upset underdog special right here, Jim? Let's hear a little bit about it.
Well, number one, if you say to Howell or CBC that they're the underdogs, they will laugh at you because I mean we knew this district was going to be the way it was. The way it was, it was just a knockdown drag out. It was teams that you knew could do things and be successful, and then you've got the two defending state champs in Class 6 and Class 5. Well, did we think that they were going to be the number 3 and number 4 seeds? Probably not, but they were, and that's what happened. They knocked off, CBC knocks off Marquette in a really entertaining ball game. Hal just absolutely took it to Lafayette, and that was the one thing that I said last week with Lafayette is it's the first time they're going to see a caliber of a quarterback like Adam Shipley, a caliber of a tight end / slot receiver in Jude James, and they came to play, and they did everything they needed to do. This game is just going to be unbelievable, and Hal gets the host spot because they're number 3. I'm going to tell you right now, this game will go deep into the fourth quarter. There's never been, and ever since Misha decided to start the jockeying with classifications every year and all that, there has never been 2 defending state champs that have played each other. This is a historic game in a lot of realms. This is a game I wanted to see last year during the regular season.
Yeah.
Now we get it. Adam Shipley, McKee from CBC, who's done a terrific job quarterback. You've got McClellan for CBC. You've got James for Howell. You got 2 salty defenses. Flip a coin, put 2 pieces of paper with names in the hat. I don't care how you figure it out. I ain't touching this game because I think it's going to be that doggone good. And the winner of this game is going to give somebody some fits moving forward into the bracket.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is, I don't know if you caught it. That underdog comment was a lot of sarcasm, considering what kind of teams we have in this matchup, in this district in general. I mean, we said from the get-go, this is the best district in the state, bar none, hands down. And now you're seeing the defending Class 6, the defending Class 5 state champs, as you mentioned, first time ever since they've been doing this in the same district, playing each other for the right to move on in the Class 6 state tournament. I don't think you could draw this up any better as far as must-see TV. So if you're not watching the Seckman Jackson game, you might want to turn this one on.
Yeah, it was
definitely worth the money.
Hey, here's the deal. I'm going to be down in Arkansas for your favorite sport, soccer, watching conference championship stuff. But I'm gonna have like 5 games up on my laptop while I'm watching that stuff go on. I mean, it's that type of night, and the games around the state are going to be fantastic. And once again, now look at the possible matchup: Jackson Seckman or CBC Howell. We've already seen Howell and Jackson earlier this year, and Jackson beat him down at the pit. But that's the thing. Howell's going to have to go back to the pit if that matchup happens. You look at the other side of it. Seckman has been terrific. How do they match up against the 2, blue bloods here in the metro area? I mean, the storylines run deep, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And having those matchups on our way to Faroe Field is going to be just absolutely intense moving forward, because we have some really good football in Class 6. And then speaking of not being in Class 6, we're going to jump right into Class 5 now, because I think this is an intriguing matchup myself, Jim.
Well, it's very intriguing, but Eureka, if figured out some things, has done some things that they need to do, but they are playing Summit, who I still think, honestly, right now is playing the second best football in the area. Elijah Stevens, unbelievable year. He's broken every record over at Summit. That Summit defense has been terrific all year long. I just don't know if Eureka is going to be able to score against them. And we've seen Eureka with their struggles in those losses not be able to get their offense going. This is probably the best defense that they're going to see all year long. I like Summit. I think Summit's going to win. It's going to be a close game, but I just, once again, the X factor is Elijah Stevens. This kid is tremendous. This kid has just done everything you can ask him to do in his career at Summit. He's broken every record. And I mean, Eureka, they are what they are, and they win football games, but I think their defense is a little suspect. We saw that earlier this year when they went on that 3-game losing streak. I just think that Summit's going to take full advantage of that.
And you're right. I mean, what they've built at Summit is just off the charts. We've talked about how well they've played the last 2 years, and you can see this kind of growing, moving towards this team in the last couple of years now to have this deep run to a state title. And the intrigue for me is has Eureka figured some things out in order to be able to compete with them and have a chance to win? Otherwise, it is Summit's defense is top notch, as you mentioned. I still feel like Summit's going to get it. I think Eureka can make it a ball game. You never know what can happen, but if they figured some things out, don't count out the Wildcats.
Yeah, without a doubt. And if they have, and they get after, like we all know they could, I think it's a closer game. But I still think Summit is the team to beat, other than Ritter in Class 5 right now. And once again, you've got other teams that are lurking there. I mean,
Yes.
You look out the western part of the state. You've got Elias sitting there, who gave Ritter fits earlier this year. You got St. Dom's, who's going to drive people insane because they're so doggone good. I mean, yeah, it's just Class 5 is really, really tough and really talented. Get out of this weekend. You're not going to have an easy path to get to Faroe Field.
No. Anytime you get in the state tournament, it shouldn't even be easy anyway, because now you're playing the best of the best.
Right.
So it's definitely going to be fun to see how this all shakes out. Moving right along so we can get to all these. Now we're going to go into Class 4. And, hey, what a great story with the Clayton Brentwood team, coming together at the co-op, obviously beating Vashon this last week in a very, very, very close game. But I don't know if I think the magical season comes to an end this weekend, Jim.
This is all Lutheran North all day long, and it's not going to change. Lutheran North, in my mind, is the best team in Class 4. I want them in Smithville. I want this game to take place, and I'm not going against Lutheran North. Clayton Brentwood, what a terrific story. What a terrific year for the co-op, first year that they put the two communities together. But they just don't have the speed to keep up with Lutheran North. They don't have anybody that could, get after Dakari Hollis like you need in order to slow that offense down. Lutheran North, no doubt, big, and I mean really big, and their quest to continue to move on into the brackets will move forward. But my gosh, what a great story from Brentwood Clayton. I wish they didn't have to play them. I'd love to see if they can get anybody else, but unfortunately, not going to happen. It's going to be all Lutheran North, and there's going to be no shadow of a doubt on this one.
Right. Absolutely. I just don't see it happening either, bud. All right. And then we're going to go to our last bracket. And this is the one that you media guys all loved. This is the media darling bracket.
We are being proved right. That's all I care about.
Man, I'm telling you right now, I'm never going to hear the end of it because of this. But let's talk a little bit about it though, Jim.
I mean, Warrenton Parkway North, we knew it was going to be a terrific game. It goes into
Yes.
overtime, and Warrenton able to score, and then their defense got to stop. Once again, the questions were with Warrenton: do they have the speed on the edges, the hang with Lutheran St. Charles, with the Parkway North? Well, they've proved it. Now, do you have the dudes up front and the linebackers that could stop one of the most dynamic running backs in the state of Missouri, in Aeneas Williams, from Hannibal? That's the million-dollar question. It's a great matchup. Hannibal's had a terrific year. And once again, Williams is going to Notre Dame for a reason. He is that talented and that good as a running back. Warrenton's got to figure out and scheme up some ways to be able to contain him and not let him get out, because he's one of those kids. He'll break free and then he just hits another gear and you can't catch him. And that he is that solid. I like Hannibal. I think the Warrenton run comes to an end, but I'm okay with that because, once again, we were proved right in keeping them ranked all year long in the poll with Hannibal, and Parkway North sliding in there towards the end. What a great district. But once again, Hannibal plus it's at Hannibal, and those people are nuts up there. It's a terrific atmosphere for football, and I give Hannibal the edge because I just don't know if Warrenton, they haven't seen a running back like they're going to see in Williams, and that is going to cause issues.
Yes, 100%. Williams is an X factor upon X factors, and good job to you guys in the polls and keeping Warrenton around, keeping Hannibal around. Obviously, it's been a great district with 3 ranked teams in there. Holt's had a great season too, but I think I agree with you, and I hate being the guy who always agrees with you because I think Hannibal's going to come away with this in the win. I think there's just is too much. He's such a dynamic player. He is the X factor in this game.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, you know what? Warrenton proved me wrong. Yeah, I mean,
right.
I will be happy if they prove me wrong because it gives us another area team that's going to move into the bracket. But I just can't see it. I think Williams is just too good. I don't know if they can stop them.
Right. Well, when we come back from this, we're going to take a quick break. We come back, we're going to kind of review over the state volleyball tournament. It was fantastic. It was a fantastic experience for all the kids, and I even got to go down and see it and hang out with my buddy here, Jim. But we come back, we'll talk a little bit about it. You're watching On the Move with the Caravan Sports Preview Show.
Captain of the Pee Wee football team. We may be small, but we are
mighty,
annoying. And you are so tired from playing defense against us that your focus is about to ride the bench. Woo! Go. Thanks, Mom.
Bye.
Come on. And if you have cut rate car insurance, then not even a Hail Mary will save you from paying for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Are you tired of boring sports talk shows? Then tune in to the Coach's Box. These guys don't just talk sports. They talk about whatever the heck they want to talk about. Watch new episodes of the Coach's Box each week for free on Facebook, YouTube, or the Streamline Sports app.
All right, everybody, welcome back to On the Move with the Caravan Sports Preview Show. You can probably hear this background announcing going on here.
Somebody's at school.
Oh, somebody's at school. It's lunch period, so making announcements. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. And all of our episodes are brought to you by Wiley Agencies. For multiple policies with one agent under one roof, you call Sean Wiley today. He can take care of your car, your home, anything you got going on. Give him a call today. His Festus office at 636-764-6294, or his Hillsborough office at 636-333-9903. So, Jim, talk a little bit about what's going on with what went on with the volleyball this week. We had some great action, and I'm telling you right now, I'm a fan of great volleyball. Even though I don't know all the terminology, I know what good volleyball looks like, and I got to see it. Big time.
You got to see the high level, and you look at Class 5 Lafayette. Just as just an unbelievable team, unbelievable accomplishment. They go back to back. I think it's their 8th state championship, and they did it in great fashion against a really good Francis Howell team. Howell sweeps Lee Summit West in the semi. Lafayette sweeps Kickapoo, but the Lafayette kids just left no doubt that they are the best team in the state of Missouri in Class 5, and they 36-2 on the volleyball court. That's pretty solid. And then, of course, Lee Summit West and Kickapoo go 5 sets, which, there is one point this weekend. You love 5 sets. And then, of course, then sometimes you hate 5 sets. But, once again, Zach Young has just, really, he's one of the top coaches in not only the state, in the Midwest, and just does a terrific job. And, Lafayette able to take care of Howell and bring home another state championship.
And since you mentioned that, Jim, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna actually put the camera on me.
Oh,
and I'm going to say this to a good friend of our shows who watch our shows, Mr. Pat Burns, that after last week, me saying that I don't like 5 sets in high school volleyball, I still don't like 5 sets. I don't. I think it, especially when you're talking about regular season games at the state tournament. Okay, it's iffy, sure, but did it work out for my St. Pius Lancers to have 5
Class 4
sets?
bracket up, and we'll answer the question.
We'll go ahead and put that one up, so that way everyone can see that in the semifinals against Jefferson City, being down 2-1. The St. Pius Lancers came back and they won the next 2 to move on to the state championship to play Incarnate Word. And if it wasn't for 5 sets, that would not have happened. So, being that as it is, and we'll put the camera right back on me when I say this again. So, Mr. Pat Burns, who I know watches and wants to make sure that he wanted to, ask if I would like 5 sets. I still don't, but it worked out this time for the hometown team, the St. Pius Lancers, in this case. So there, I had to say it. I totally understand it. It did, again, I have no problem admitting when I am wrong. I'm not wrong. I don't like it in the regular season, but here it did work out. So I had to say it. There you go. I'm done. Sorry. Jim's enjoying this. Yes. Here, I'll put the brackets back up. I'm going to put the bracket back up.
Yeah, put the bracket back up, because we had 2 local teams with 5 set matches. And then Incarnate Word, they just, the problem that Pius had with Incarnate was it's tough to get around the 2-6-1, middle blockers. And that's where Pius, they couldn't get an answer to try and figure out how to get away from those blocks. But once again, what a terrific year for St. Pius and that. But Shea Weber's done a terrific job with the Incarnate program. They made it to state last year, and they fell short in what they wanted to do, and they came back with a little bit of a vengeance this year. So congratulations to them, on a terrific year. But congratulations to St. Pius. This was a fun team to watch all year long, and they do a lot of terrific things. So, and they've got a lot coming back next year, which is going to be a lot more fun to watch them.
Well, and on top of that, big shout out to Shannon Leftridge, who's, navigated the ship here, especially with the move to Class 4 because of the championship factor. And every year they've adapted their schedule to be able to play at the high level with the bigger schools. And you're basically a Class 2 school playing against playing against Class 4 schools. And Class 4 and 5 volleyball is no joke. And when you're talking about, that's some of the upper level volleyball in the state. And just, again, I don't want to sound like a homer or anything when I say this, but that I'm more than impressed with our kids and how they carry themselves, what they do, how well they're coached. And you're right, they have a lot coming back. I believe they graduate 3 or 4 kids to get significant minutes, but they are bringing back a lot of really, really talented kids. and if everything, I believe the math adds up, could be should be class 3 next year.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it was great to see you down there. They're still trying to figure out how they were going to utilize Eddie Marino, whether they're going to use him as a yardstick to try and check the height of the net, or who knows. But
he's a photographer off the rails media.
Yes, he is a photographer.
That's right. That's right.
Amongst other names that we've called him.
Amongst other things that he is called. But again, and then Jeff City, the very, very scrappy team as it is, do a great job. Push St. Pius to the brink of elimination in the semifinals, and then St. Michael the Archangel was a fantastic team. Takes Incarnate Word to 5 sets. And then Jeff City just showed really how good they were. They were one of those teams where you can't make mistakes, and they exploited you for your unforced errors, or the fact if you couldn't get a spike down and you got free balls coming over the net, man, they made you pay.
Yeah, without a doubt. And once again, the two local teams doing a terrific job, knocking off two really, really talented teams from Como and from the Kansas City area. So, this was a great bracket for Class 4, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, it was. And then we take a look at Class 3, and Blair Oaks is pretty good, Jim.
Blair Oaks does what Blair Oaks does, and that's they just think and win. And Ursuline Academy, what a terrific year for them. Jeff Cheek, he's won so many boys championships with the U High. Took over the Ursuline program last year, second year with a bunch of young kids that they make the run to the state final. They win the first 2 sets, and then they get reverse swept after that. Blair Oaks is really good, really talented. Wasn't sure about their resume because, there's the volleyball in Central Missouri is not as solid or as strong as the volleyball here in the St. Louis area or over out in the Kansas City area. And that's why people were looking at Ursuline, oh my gosh, they're 14-13. What are they doing at state? They're pretty doggone good. That's why they're there, and they play a top-notch schedule. But no, great year for Ursuline. Blair Oaks just do what they do, and they fell a little short last year. They got the championship this year, and congratulations to them. Then Pleasant Hill and Clever, just two teams that just ran into buzzsaws in the semifinals, and then Pleasant Hill able to get to third place.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you get to that point, it's tough. I mean, if you're the good team in your area, sometimes you see really good teams with really good records end up playing at the Final Four, and they end up coming home with 4th place. And it happens. There's different stuff all different levels all over state. Kansas City and St. Louis volleyball is top notch. And they proved that without a doubt this last weekend. I want to give a shout out real quick to Arcadia Valley, who's down from where I'm from, where my daughter goes to school, for taking 4th in state. Tara Lamb again taking
Phenomenal.
her team to the Final Four and having an opportunity to get 4th in Class 2, and then my South Iron Panthers coming up a little short and getting 2nd place.
Well,
that's the best finish they've ever had with the volleyball program.
Yeah, and they ran into
fantastic job.
Yeah, but they ran into a buzzsaw called Advance, and that's a great program. I mean, it was a great match. The championship matches were terrific, all weekend long. And there was some great volleyball, and that's all you can ask for out of the kids.
Absolutely. And those 3-0, even those state championship games that went 3-0, those were still they were tight. They were tight. It's just that the volleyball is just that good. It's just that good of the teams. But Jim, we got some exciting games that we are going to talk about next week, and we can't wait to get back and do this again, man.
It's basketball season too. Basketball season.
Trust me, we had morning practice this morning. I'm exhausted, but at the same time, I'm also just between the caffeine and the adrenaline and the excitement for basketball season. I mean, it's a good time. I can't wait to go to sleep though at some point when all the energy drinks probably wear off.
There you go, buddy.
So for Jim, for me, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of On the Move, the Caravan Sports Preview Show. We will see you guys next week. Have a great one. This episode of On the Move with the Caravan is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.
Are you tired of boring sports talk shows? Then tune in to the Coach's Box. These guys don't just talk sports. They talk about whatever the heck they want to talk about. Watch new episodes of the Coach's Box each week for free on Facebook, YouTube, or the Streamline Sports app.